The so-called ending of the cosmic night. During this ending, the spiritual world will be testing everyone for the feelings in their heart. After the year 2011, a cosmic day will begin. This cosmic day will announce itself with a sudden, incredible light, and humanity will become conscious. The earth will be illuminated, and creation will reveal its completion. The final stone of completion of the four-sided Pyramid of Giza is the symbol for the completion of the process of becoming human. However, the final cornerstone of the fifth dimension, time, is still missing. Consequently, creation will find its completion in the return of the extraterrestrial gardens of evolution through the programming into the fifth dimension.
Now, speaking extraterrestrially, they are here to remind us that there are other things far beyond us, which of course are necessary if we are to evolve into our rightful ascendancy in the things to come. In other words, moving from the third dimension into the fourth and the fifth dimension. UFOs, per se, have always been there. We have forgotten that because we have returned to amnesia and we have returned to illusion. We are now about to walk or talk or act out of that so that we become realism again, that indeed we have the powers that we once had, and we can take them into ourselves again to change the dilemma that we face as a nation, as a peoples, and as a planet. We must do this again as the people. We cannot rely upon our governments anymore. Governments basically are defunct. We don't like to think so, but they are. Governments are also a captive of many of the malefic extraterrestrials. That was true during the Third Reich. It is now true of the United States government, and I don't know how many more. It is time to turn to those who have our best interests at heart. And those who do have our best interests at heart are known as the Guardian Forces. The Guardian Forces outnumber the malefic or bad extraterrestrial forces somewhere around 10 to 1. And yet we do not turn to them, in time of need. Again, to invoke them, again, to get them to step in our direction and to assist us, we must do so through prayer and meditation and love and light and balance. And if we do that again, then we invoke the power, if you will, of the Guardian Forces. We give them the necessary power which they need to deter the malefic forces, including the wormwood planet. These things, of course, are very simple, and I think for some people they're too simple. They would rather think that we have to turn to some advanced type of technology or some advanced type of weaponry. Those days are over. If we are to graduate as a planet and a peoples, we must return to the godly principles that we once exercised and had when we first came here, or before we actually came here from the fourth dimension into the third. We must return to that godliness.
We are in the last days, and the battle of the spiritual powers to win over souls has started. Old and new prophecies are to be understood symbolically. The last judgment has already begun. The experience will be different for everyone. The time factor rapidly decreases during these last years, and every one of us will reap increasingly faster the harvest of the seeds that we have sown in order to fulfill our karma. A purification never experienced before will affect all areas of life. Apart from the external chaos caused by wars, earthquakes, and other environmental disasters, the truth of the so-called good citizen will fall apart. No one will be able to hold on to anything. Few will realize that we are right now living in the time where the souls will be separated.
Now, instrumental in that, of course, are the ones that we know as UFOs, or the extraterrestrial consciousness. We know, too, that there are two types of extraterrestrial consciousness. One is good, or you might say they have our best interests at heart. The other one does not, and they are the malefic ones. I don't want to go too far with that. I would only say that they represent the two faces of God. It is the same energy. It's our interpretation of that energy. And It's up to us to deal with it in a responsible way. I would like to lead this also into a prognostication which has been about for thousands and thousands of years. Going back to the references of the wormwood planet, I mentioned one, of course. I mentioned the Bible, Revelations chapter 8, verse 11. I would also like to make reference to the Sumerian text. If you were to review the Sumerian text, which is the first recorded history, of course, of what is known as wormwood, you will find then that it progresses up through the Chaldean chronicles, Babylonian chronicles, and on into the Judean culture and chronicles. And of course, the latest of that being the Bible under Revelations chapter 8, verse 11. Now, what is the wormwood planet? Well, there's many speculations about the wormwood planet, but I don't think that speculatively we can deny that it exists, because there's proof, although not written, but there's enough proof at hand and at large at this point in time that world government is fully aware of the so-called wormwood planet. It isn't the first time that the wormwood planet has visited our planet and caused mass devastation and chaos. It's been here, of course, over a period of thousands and thousands of years, and there's scientific proof and also materialistic proof that they have flipped the axis of this planet over 330 times in the past.
A new superhuman being will be born. Earth is now close to the birth of its new human being before she enters the full light of the day of the Golden Age. Dawn has already started. The ascension is the resurrection. Many are being called, but only a few are chosen to become the seed for the new mankind, because the spirits will soon be separated. The vampires will not survive the harsh light of the new day of creation. The change which the earth will experience during the purification process by throwing off her ballast will be unbelievable. During this time, when the earth, groaning, rids itself of the poisons which humans, in their blind ignorance, have inflicted on the planet, it will shake off this burden, and divine grace will help cleanse the lower astral collective body, all three-dimensional structures, with an indescribable fire. The time is near when the earth will unleash the elements, and the angel of judgment will purify it through fire, water, and earthquakes. During her pain of giving birth, Mother Earth will suffer a near breakdown, which will culminate and end in the burning of all that is inferior. The darkness of this world, the afterbirth, will be burnt, and a new humankind will be born. Before this climax, there will only be two parties left, the three-dimensional and the five-dimensional people, who are able to integrate their light body. On the day X, the spirits will be separated. In the same way that it happened during the days of Noah, it will occur again during the days of the human son. They ate, they drank, they married until that day when Noah entered the ark and the arrival of the flood killed all. Just like it happened during the days of Lot, they ate, they drank, they bought and sold, they planted and constructed every day. But the day Lot left Sodom, fire and sulfur descended from the heavens and killed everyone. So it will happen when the Son of Man is revealed. Whoever will be on the roof on that day and leave his coat inside the house should not return downstairs to get it. And whoever is out in the field should not turn back. Just remember Lot's wife. I say unto you, during that night, when a couple will be in bed, one will be taken, the other left behind.
Jesus used Noah as an illustration of end times. He indicated that just as it was in the days of Noah with the flood, so at the end of time there would be devastation. And just as the flood cleansed the world of that time, of sin, so with the coming of Jesus there will be a flood of fire that will cleanse the earth. One can visit the area of Mount Ararat, which is the area of eastern Turkey. Ararat, of course, covered the area of Armenia, Turkey, some of Iraq, quite a large area. And in the Tenderek Mountains there, across from Agri-Dag, which is the mountain that is usually referred to as Mount Ararat today, there's been quite a bit of focus of attention upon a boat-like shape in recent times.